How Emperor Geckos Sing. A hidden world. Emperor geckos hail from the beautiful island nation of Madagascar, and they're instantly recognizable thanks to their striking colors, often a combination of fiery oranges, yellows, and reds. These geckos are incredibly agile climbers, perfectly adapted for an arboreal lifestyle high up in the trees. What many people don't realize is that Emperor geckos aren't silent creatures. They communicate through a surprising range of vocalizations. While not as complex as bird song, these calls serve important purposes like attracting mates or defending territory. You might hear them producing chirps, barks, and even clicks, sounds you wouldn't necessarily associate with a gecko. Most reptiles are known for being silent creatures, but emperor geckos defy that expectation. They're actually quite vocal, producing a range of audible sounds. Forget the typical hisses or clicks you might associate with lizards. Instead, these geckos communicate using complex chirps and trills. These aren't random noises either. They use them to establish territory, attract mates, and even signal alarm. Researchers have identified distinct calls for different situations, revealing a surprisingly nuanced communication system within their social interactions. It's truly fascinating to hear the intricate sounds these beautiful geckos create. These vocalizations aren't just random noises, they're a crucial part of male emperor gecko behavior. Primarily, these songs, which sound like chirps and clicks, are used to define and defend their territory. A male will sing to warn other males away from his chosen area. It's a direct challenge. This also serves as a way for them to compete for mating opportunities. The most persistent and impressive singers often attract more females. Think of it as their version of a bird song, a complex communication system designed for dominance and reproduction. A male's vocal repertoire can even change based on his age and experience, with older, more established males typically having more elaborate displays. Male emperor geckos are known for their impressive vocalizations, a series of chirps, clicks, and trills that fill their habitat. Interestingly, these songs aren't just random noises, they offer a fascinating insight into the gecko's well-being. The frequency and complexity of a male's calls directly reflect his size and overall health. Larger geckos, those that have thrived and grown to full maturity, tend to produce more elaborate and frequent vocalizations. A weaker or smaller gecko simply can't muster the energy or possess the physical capacity for such complex displays. Think of it as their way of broadcasting their strength and vitality to potential mates, a powerful auditory signal demonstrating their fitness. It's fascinating to realize that female emperor geckos aren't silent observers. They actively participate in this complex vocal communication system. While we've discussed the male calls, females use these same sounds, but with a very different purpose. Primarily, their vocalizations serve as a nuanced way of signaling their interest or lack thereof to potential mates. Think of it as a subtle dance of courtship. A female might emit a specific call sequence to indicate she's receptive, while another series of chirps could signal rejection. This sophisticated form of communication allows for a more refined selection process than simple visual displays alone, ensuring that only the most suitable males are chosen for breeding. It's truly remarkable how much information can be conveyed through these tiny vocalizations. It's fascinating to observe how young male emperor geckos navigate their social hierarchy. These geckos are incredibly vocal, using a variety of chirps and calls to communicate. Younger males, particularly those who haven't yet established dominance, often employ an ingenious strategy. They mimic the songs of old, more successful males. It's almost like they're learning by listening. This imitation isn't just random noise, it allows them to blend in with the group and avoid direct confrontation with a larger, stronger gecko. They're essentially adopting the voice of authority to minimize risk and gain some level of acceptance within the social structure, a truly remarkable example of learned behavior and social intelligence. The chirping sounds you hear from Emperor geckos aren't just random noises, they're a fascinating display of biological engineering. These vocalizations, produced by specialized structures within their vocal cords, tiny membranes that vibrate incredibly rapidly. It's this rapid vibration, finely controlled and adjusted, that creates the distinctive, complex chirping patterns we recognize. Different individuals will even have slight variations in their chirps, almost like unique signatures. Scientists believe these sounds play a vital role in communication between geckos, potentially for attracting mates or establishing territory within their rainforest habitat. The Emperor Geckos' impressive vocalizations aren't just random bursts of sound, they are deeply tied to its environment. Temperature plays a crucial role. Warmer temperatures generally lead to more frequent and intense songs. Think about it. When conditions are ideal for activity, these geckos are eager to communicate. Humidity is equally important. A drier environment can stifle their singing, while optimal humidity levels encourage them to vocalize freely. It's fascinating how finely tuned they are. Subtle shifts in temperature or humidity within the enclosure can noticeably alter their behavior and song patterns. Observing this connection really highlights just how sensitive these creatures are to their surroundings. The Emperor Geckos' vocalizations are far more complex than we initially understood. For years, scientists believed their calls were simply a way to establish territory and attract mates. However, recent research is revealing an incredible level of sophistication in these songs. We're discovering distinct regional dialects, meaning different populations across Madagascar have unique call patterns. Even more fascinating, individual geckos exhibit variations within those dialects. Each gecko seems to develop its own signature vocal style, a sort of personal flair to their communication. It's like they're developing their own unique voice. This ongoing research is truly reshaping our understanding of reptile communication and highlighting just how much there still is to learn about these amazing creatures. These vocalizations aren't just random noises, they represent a complex system of communication between emperor geckos. Scientists are only beginning to unravel its intricacies, but it's clear these sounds play a vital role in their daily lives. We've observed that different calls appear to signify various things: territorial defense, courtship rituals, and even warnings about potential predators. Understanding the nuances of these calls helps us appreciate just how socially aware these geckos truly are. They're not simply solitary creatures reacting to stimuli. Furthermore, analyzing these communications gives us a clearer picture of their place within their ecosystem. Knowing which signals relate to food sources or threats allows us to better understand how they interact with other species and navigate their environment successfully.